Yeah.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Ali's World of Finance and welcome to Stock Market Daily. So in today's quick video, we're going to talk about a few different things. The tech sell-off seems to have continued a little bit into today, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. It basically started on Friday where there was a pretty major tech sell-off, and it kind of continued a little bit into today, but it isn't too bad, and we're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about the FAANG stocks because those are red across the board, and so those dropped a pretty decent amount. And we're going to talk a little bit about Apple because one analyst downgraded them and their stock kind of went down a little bit more. And we're also going to talk a little bit about financial stocks and energy stocks because there may be a little bit of a rotation going on. Not too much with financial stocks, but there may be some more of a rotation happening from tech stocks into energy stocks, but we'll talk about that. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, when looking at the tech sell-off, we're still not too sure exactly what's causing it. And that's leading to some uncertainty. In fact, FBB Capital Partners, they basically had this statement sent out, and it says, you're not seeing any major fundamental factors that would drive tech lower here. And this uncertainty can cause a lot of people to panic, and it can cause a lot of people to sell stocks, and that brings prices down. But I see this as more of a sale more than anything else. I really think that tech stocks were a bit high, and so now they're kind of being brought down just a little bit, and it's kind of just a nice sale to pick up some stocks. In fact, Jim Cramer, he's very popular, and he's very bullish on this whole situation. He's saying that he was basically saying that he's loving the situation. He basically said it today after the market closed and everything. And he was talking about how this is a great opportunity to pick up a lot of stocks with great value. And he was basically talking a lot about Apple because Apple has taken a pretty major dip. And he was saying how he's bullish on Apple and stuff like that. Now, when looking at what may be causing this, obviously the tech stocks were up a lot, and so a lot of investors wanted to cash in their profits, and they were scared that it maybe had gone up too high. So things like that can cause stocks to drop, and there may be a little bit of a rotation going on. So let's go ahead and look at the overview of the stock market, and that'll kind of give us a better picture of whether or not there's a rotation or exactly what's happening with it. So when looking at an overview, the Dow Jones is down 0.17%, NASDAQ is down 0.52%, which you would expect in this situation, and then S&P 500 is down 0.10%. Now, the technology sector is down 0.8% today. The financial sector is up just a little bit, 0.2% up. And then the energy sector is up a little bit more. They're up 0.7%. So it kind of looks like maybe a little bit of a rotation from the technology sector into the energy sector. Because a lot of people, they may be trying to pick up more value stocks like bank stocks and crude oil stocks, energy stocks, maybe even retail stocks. But retail, that's not an area that I want to invest in right now. So I'm not interested in retail, to be honest. And then maybe even healthcare, but I don't know. I don't really invest too much in healthcare. I'm a little more diversified with some energy stocks, but we'll talk about that. So anyway, and I'll just mention briefly, I kind of need a third arm to show this, but if I was to draw like a neutral line here, the day basically started with tech stocks dropping a lot. Tech stocks were actually down a lot more, and tech stocks kind of were at the really bottom, and financial and energy stocks were up pretty high. And then throughout the day, they both just kind of started to come more towards the neutral. So tech stocks kind of bounced back a little bit, started kind of coming back up. And then financial and energy stocks kind of started dropping down a little bit. So they both kind of started, it seemed like we went into Monday with a lot of people worried over the weekend. And so we went into Monday and everybody was kind of panicking. So tech stocks were down a lot, and then financial and energy was up a lot. And then they kind of just started coming back to neutral. So we could see that start to neutralize a little more. We could see tech stocks starting to go back up, starting to rally back up, but it could still be a while. So I'm not exactly sure if this whole sale has ended yet, but that's how I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it as a sale, as a great opportunity to pick up some stocks, and they could continue to drop a little bit more, you know, a couple more days or whatever the case may be. But I would just see that as just an increase of the sale and just more opportunities to pick up more stocks. I really have more of the mentality of Jim Cramer on this issue, to be honest. Okay, so let's look at Apple really quick because Apple took another pretty big hit. On Friday, they were down almost 4%. And then today, they went down another 2.46%. And there was an analyst, and I should have written this down, so I apologize, but there was an analyst from I can't remember the name. It's like Muhazo or Muzaho, something like that. But they basically downgraded from a buy to a neutral, and that hurt the stock a little bit. And then the other thing that's hurting the stock is that we have basically that looming report from Bloomberg where they said that the iPhone 8 won't be able to offer the same high-speed data as competitors, and I mentioned that in a previous video. So Apple is down a pretty nice amount here. They're down like almost 7%, right? Getting close to 7%. So I see this as a great time to pick up Apple stock. Now, Apple could continue to drop, absolutely, but I still see this as a sale, and I still like Apple in the long term, and I still think that they have a lot of growth potential in India. Some analysts think the same way, some analysts think the opposite, but I personally do like Apple. So anyway, that's just my opinion on it. Okay, now looking at tech stocks, I have some here, just some that I picked out, but let's just look at a couple of these. So Microsoft is down 0.77% for the day. Nvidia is actually up 0.25%. They closed, and after hours, they were up another 1.15%. So they're up a nice little amount here during the tech sell-off, but they obviously dropped a lot on Friday. Intel is up 0.6%, and then after hours 0.34%, so up around 0.40%. IBM went up 0.7%, and then after hours another 0.17%. And then AMD continues to drop just a little bit here. They dropped 1.55%, but then they rallied back a little bit in after hours, up 0.41%, so around a 1% drop today. And then Sony is up 0.22% closing, but then in after hours, they're up another 2.91%, so almost 3%. And Sony is presenting at E3 tonight, so they might even be presenting by the time you see this video, because I'm not sure exactly when I'll get it uploaded. But Sony is presenting at E3 tonight, and then Nintendo is presenting tomorrow. And Nintendo, they closed up 0.5%. And Nintendo is presenting tomorrow, and I'm really excited about that, and I'm hoping that Nintendo stock goes up a lot. Now, the FAANG stocks, they're red across the board, and they really struggled. Facebook is down, they closed for the day down 0.78%, but then they rallied back just a little bit, up 0.25% in after hours. And then Apple obviously dropped 2.46%, and then in after hours they came back up just a little bit at 0.19%. Amazon, I think, is a great value because they closed the day down another 1.38%, and they were down on Friday as well. And they're under the $1,000 per share mark, and I believe that they are fairly valued above $1,000 in my personal opinion. So I think it's a great time to pick up some Amazon stock. I actually told my girlfriend that because my girlfriend is trying to get a little more involved in the stock market, and I told her that, you know, if she wants like more of a safe stock, I think Amazon is more of a safe stock because I think that they'll just continue to do well in the coming years as well. Now, Netflix is down for the day 4.17%. So Netflix had a really nice drop today. So if you're bullish on Netflix, you're getting a pretty nice deal there. And then Google is down 0.86% for the day. So FAANG just down across the board. But anyway, now when looking at financial and energy stocks, financial stocks didn't have too much of a positive impact. In fact, some of these are actually red. But Berkshire Hathaway, they're down, or they're up 0.37% for Class A, and then Class B, they're up 0.29%. So they did well today. And then Visa was down 1.12%. JP Morgan Chase kind of stayed normal. Bank of America went up around 0.5%. Goldman Sachs actually went down just a little bit, 0.24%. Citi went down 0.2%. American Express went down almost 0.2%. So not a whole lot of stuff there, but obviously there's some other financial stocks. I just picked out some of the trendy ones. And then in energy, you really see a lot more positive stuff in energy stocks, especially from some of these trendy ones. Chevron up 1.5% for the day. ExxonMobil up about 1%. GE, I actually bought GE stock a few months ago because I wanted to diversify my portfolio a little bit. So I wanted to have some energy stocks. And today GE went up almost 4%, so close to 4% for the day. So very good job from GE. And then Shell was up around 0.2% or so, and then Valero was up 1%, and then BP was just down very slightly at like about 0.1% or so. So anyway, that was today's recap. If you guys have any questions, just leave a comment, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. As always, this is just my opinion. Anything could happen, but I do want to just keep you guys in the loop and let you know what's going on in my head and what I'm thinking about all this this situation and everything that's going on. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you're new, please subscribe. If you like the video, hit the like button. And if you watch the video all the way through, then you are Amazon and you are undervalued, and I think that you are worth well over $1,000. And that sounded really wrong, so I apologize. But thank you for watching. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. Take care.